welcome everyone. And at this time, I'm going to like to ask Ashley, one of our graduates, to lead us into prayer.
Dear Lord, as I look toward the future, bright hope conducts this prayer. For I know the plans you have for me were wrought the divine care. Holy Spirit, lead me. Let me run at your command. Yet be still and know that you are God when trouble is close at hand. Your word will be a lamp for me, a guide to light my way, a solid place to set my feet, a compass when I stray. May I live my life to praise you, not for fortune, not for fame. May everything I say and do bring glory to your name. May my eyes stay fixed upon you as I seek the way that's pure, testing your love and goodness, sleeping and rising secure. Planted by your living streams, I'll delight you in all your ways, hidden by your sheltering wings with new mercies for each day. Even in a dangerous land when storms threaten to destroy, at the cross I'll stand upon the rock, my strength, my hope, my joy. Dear Lord, show me your favor at all times, keep me blessed. May your face ever shine upon me with peace and perfect rest.
Amen. It's a beautiful, Ashley, it's a beautiful prayer. Okay, so they just Ashley did a beautiful prayer. I met Ashley when she was in 10th grade. Am I right, Ashley?
Yes.
And she could not play any sports due to a health reason. But she should excel well in the church, being a sacristan, Eucharistic minister, parish council member, and a coach to the special need children. Ashley has a large heart for the people who are poor and needy, and that's where she wants to reach out. So she's such a wonderful girl, and I'm glad that I met her in my Bristol ministry. Along with her, we have her brother, a little brother, my little pal, called Ryan. He knows how much I love him. Ha ha ha. Who also tried to follow his sisters to be a sacristan, and he did well. He is also part of our parish youth ministry, and he'll be going to Quinnipiac in a majoring in the engineering field. Am I right, Ryan?
Yes.
All right, at least I know something about you. And Rica Coelho. First, I met her in the church as a sacristan. She was the one who introduced me to the sacristy, telling me what to do, what not to do. So she was like my mentor there for a few months. She's very gifted. Time to time, she plays guitar on Saturdays at 5:15 p.m. Mass with a folk group. She also, being an acoustic minister, loved to play during Mass. Rica also plays for lawn tennis and represented Our Lady of Mercy Academy School as well as Nassau County. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's good. And finally, we have our last but not the least, Brandon Humbert. Well known in our parish family circle. Many parishioners expect him to be the Pope of our future church. In this pandemic, I came across many of his hidden talents. He's a musically oriented, plays well piano, saxophone, clarinet, drums, and sings. He's also an official sacristan, acolyte, lector, Eucharistic ministers, and writes for our parish bulletin, and also is a parish council member. He loves to cook at our parish carnival, and practically Sal is his mentor, how to cook, how to make the food, and he listened to Sal, and he's doing very well. He has chosen by St. Dominic's School as a valedictorian, and he hasn't figured out whether he wants to be a doctor, professor, or cardinal. But he has accepted the post-university to continue his ongoing education. So we'd like to wish them all the best. And I hope you guys will flourish in your life, whatever you do. But we are very proud of you, that you are proud members of the St. Pius X Parish family. So I'm going to ask Claire and Sal to just ask a question, make this interview very beautiful. You guys are representing the whole parish children who are graduating from the colleges, and those are going to graduate from the high schools and going to go forward to the colleges, and eventually you're going to achieve your dreams. All right. So Sal and Claire, the floor is open.
Thank you, Father. First, I'd like to ask everyone, what were your best moments in high school and or college, whatever pertains to you, and what will you take with you forever? So anyone who would like to start? Okay, Brandon.
Okay.
Best moment. Wow. I mean, I enjoyed all 4 years at Dom's. I don't think that there was really a bad memory. Uh, some of the the most special things that I do recall. We had our senior trip to the city this year. For the day, we went to the city, walked around, saw the tree at Christmas time. We saw a matinee that day, so that was really nice. Um, we've gone on many retreats, which have been really inspiring, really nice. Many times we've gone to the Immaculate Conception Seminary. Those are always very nice. We've met some great retreat leaders there. I've spoken at many events. My public speaking, they have me speaking at the open house and different masses, and so that's really nice. But I think the biggest thing that I'll always remember, it's more recent than anything else, but it was something good to come out of this time, was what Father Valentine was saying earlier, was a phone call from my principal that said I was valedictorian. Usually it's in school. They announce it over the PA system. Uh, Obviously different this year. So I was actually outside. I was playing golf on the first nice day, and called me. The principal called and announced the good news, and I think that was the best thing that could have come out of this year. That's been my goal for the last 4 years and beyond. So that was probably the most memorable thing that I'll always take with me.
Very nice. Quite the
Rica?
achievement.
I would say definitely being a part of the tennis team at Our Lady of Mercy for high school. And then for college, I think my best experience on the contrary was outside of college. It was my internship at a film production company in New York City. And that was really nice because my major is finance and economics, but I got to tap into my creative side, writing scripts and editing videos and soundtracking. So that was a lot of fun for me.
That's wonderful.
Ryan?
My favorite memory would have to be in the last 2 years of high school, playing volleyball with all my friends, going really far, winning championships with all of them after school, being able to hang out and get better at this sport we all love. And it was just a really great experience to have with all my friends to do that in high school.
For me, I would probably say in college, I was actually fortunate to be given the position of president for my sorority. So it was a really awesome leadership experience that I had, but it also allowed me to really bond with my e-board and get to have a real big impact, not only on the girls that were in the sorority, but also like on campus through all the events that we planned. So it was a really great opportunity and a lot of learning experiences through it.
Okay, wonderful. So everybody sounds like they've been very active in high school, college. So how do you think these activities will either help you in your next step, whether it's school or what your career, your job? So how will those activities help you?
Well, I guess I could start. Tennis definitely, even if I'm not on a team, it's a good exercise, especially right now when we're in quarantine. I'm just like going to the courts and hitting because it's safe with just one other person. So it's a good exercise. And then film production wise, I think it's really great because I'm writing a script on the side and I just met a lot of great contacts in the city. So that will just help me throughout my life.
Okay.
I'll jump in next. I would say I definitely learned a lot about leadership positions. Like I said, I was the president of the sorority, but I was also on a lot of different executive boards for the business school and different clubs that I was in. And you learn that it's not always going to be an easy road. And I know Father Valentine mentioned before, but I was always an athlete in high school, and I faced a couple obstacles where I was no longer able to play sports anymore. So I learned to take those roles and apply it to different situations. And facing obstacles, you have to learn how to overcome them. And now that I'm a graduate, I've been working internships in my job now. It's not always going to be an easy road, and you have to learn how to delegate and how to overcome those obstacles and make the best of every situation and take advantage of every opportunity that's afforded to you.
Yeah, I agree with Ashley. I think the biggest thing is leadership and communication skills. This year, I was the president of many clubs and our honor societies. And because of that, I've been having to take the initiative and not only planning things, but I'm implementing new systems. I made a whole website for tutoring services for our peers. So that was really important, something that, both technology and doing good for others. A lot of communication with the administration. whether good or bad. No, I'm kidding with that. It was all good, but a lot of letter writing, a lot of working with other people, and working in teams. And it's something I got to, I'll call it co-teach my band class with my music teacher for a while. I arranged many of the pieces that we played. So that, standing in front of the classroom and conducting the band, that was one of the best experiences that I've had. So that, all of these things culminate into a great leadership position and teamwork position too.
Okay.
I would have to say, working like in classes and on teams, sport teams that I've done, leadership and hard work and working together as a team. Really, the amount of hours you put in and the amount of time you spend with each other as a team, it really shows off for you to improve together. We worked after school every day for 2.5 hours at practice for 7 straight weeks to make it all the way to the championship game and then win it. Was really just great to show how important it is that hard work and teamwork is together, to work together.
Okay. Well, it certainly sounds like you're all prepared to take the next step in your life. Great job. Sal, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Claire. And those leadership skills that you're all talking about are going to be a major part of your world as you go forward. And developing characteristics of good leaders is so important. So let's take a look at why you selected the colleges that you did. So how about Ryan? Tell us why you selected the college that you picked.
I picked the college. I was looking for not a really big school, but not a really tiny school where I wouldn't really know. It was a good, I wanted a smaller side because of learning, and with smaller classes, better teacher to student ratios, you have a better chance of.
And what is your major going to be?
Engineering, civil engineering.
Nice. Good.
So with engineering, it's a hard major. So I want to have teachers that will be there to help me and easy to contact them. So my classes are about 20 to 23 kids. So that just like high school, well, I've done very well, and it's easy to learn.
What sparked you into engineering?
Engineering, I've always been into building stuff. When I was a kid, I've always built Legos and always done stuff with building. I was part of the robotics team the last 4 years at Plainview, and I've always been into building, architectures, some skyscrapers, bridges, all of that. So nice. I knew I wanted to do that.
Very nice. Thank you. And Brandon, you're going to CW Post.
Yes, that's correct. LU Post. Everybody at the parish knows that it was a very difficult decision.
Right.
Every week, I think the congregation would come up to me at the end of the mass and, where are you going? Where are you going? And I always said, I don't know yet. But I finally decided. It wasn't an easy decision. But like Ryan was saying, the smaller size obviously helps a lot. It's not overly big, and it's not too small either. You know that I'm coming from St. Dom's, so that was a smaller size as well. Kind of like the nature plays into it almost. The campus life is really nice, and the physical campus. Right now at school, we have 4 different buildings. So, going between those buildings, and you can see the water from Dom's right now. So that kind of plays into it. Just a nice surrounding really helps. And although I was only able to visit once in person, I've had a lot of interactions with different advisors online here on the computer, and everybody just seems so nice and welcoming. So I figured that would be the best well-rounded fit that I can choose.
Great. And your major is going to be?
I wish I knew. I thought I knew my major. As most people know, I thought I was going to be going in for health sciences or biology for a PA track. Given light of the recent events, to be completely honest with you, that has kind of changed my mind in a few things. And there have been a few classes this year that have sparked new interests. So right now I'm going in undecided. I'll complete all my general education classes and get a taste of all my different options, and then I'll hopefully be able to decide from there.
Great. And for this summer, I'll ask this of everybody. What are your plans for this summer as you in this new normal that we have? So I would say, how about Ashley? What is your plans for this summer?
So I actually will be working. I actually have worked with the NFL for the past year on their consumer insight and research team. So given that, all that's going on with this craziness, they're actually on a hiring freeze. So I'm not full-time right now. But I'm still going to be continuing the hours that I have been working for the past year and
That's great.
summer.
Hopefully they'll keep you on.
Well, that's the plan. So, once it concludes, hopefully I'll be full time.
And Rica, what are your plans for this summer?
So I'm very excited. I start my position in the middle of June over at Northwestern Mutual as a financial advisor, but we will be working remotely until further notice.
Yes, and I know Rica and we had an interview not too long ago about her position. How did that work out for you?
Well, it worked out great. I gained some great insights about the financial industry from Sal, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I accepted the position.
Great. There was, let's see, during this crazy time that we've been having, how did you celebrate your graduations? All of you graduated from either college or high school at this moment. So how did you celebrate it? So Rica, since we just ended with you, let's start with you.
Ironically that you asked that today, my mom is throwing a little graduation party for me this evening. It's very low key though, and we're going to be ordering burgers because they're my food. But yeah, it's just going to be my sister. I might call one other friend who's been quarantining for the past month over.
So it's difficult, very different than you originally planned, right?
Very different, and compared to my sister's graduation party. But I'm just happy that everyone's safe.
Right. Very good. Brendan, what about yours?
Well, we actually just received news today that we're actually going to have an in-person graduation, which has been the topic of discussion between all myself and all of my classmates. That's going to be June 6th, just like they usually do it, just to change the location though. So they usually have it in the church at the St. Dominic Parish. Now we're going to be doing it outside at the athletic fields. But we're very grateful. The principal does not want a virtual graduation, which we're all very happy about. And although there's not a mass, there's usually a mass the day before. We haven't been told if that is necessarily true or not, but I think that their efforts and their wanting to do it in person is the most important aspect of it.
Great. Ryan, what's Plainview doing these days?
So right now, Plainview has not decided. We still have 3 more weeks of school. Our graduation would be in about a month. So they don't know what we're doing. They gave us a survey about 2 weeks ago for choices what to do, but Plainview has no idea. The 3 choices were not have a graduation, have a virtual graduation, have a graduation with small groups of 20 to 40 people, or have a drive-by graduation. Each car drives by and they pick up their diploma. But as of right now, the survey was filled out. They didn't tell us which one had the most picks, but nothing's finalized.
On the news, I've seen the drive-by and I've seen the virtual. So it seems to be a popular method at this point in time. Yeah. And what about you, Ashley?
Well, I was greeted in the morning with decorations and the commencement song, which just brought me to tears. So I decided that I didn't really want too much of a celebration after that. But my parents were great. They actually made me like a video montage of all my friends and my family. Father Valentine was in there with just messages of congratulations. And then we had like a little drive-by with just like my family. So it was a really nice day.
Great. So how will you all keep your faith, those that are going to college while you're going to college, and those that are going into the workforce? How do you keep your faith going and alive while you're there? So why don't we start with Ryan, you're right there with me. So how about you?
Well, Quinnipiac actually offers, they have a service every Sunday at Quinnipiac, which is really good. So I'll probably be going there once a week, every Sunday, to see. They have a very nice pastor. I haven't met him yet, but they say he's a very nice person. So I look forward to going there and seeing how everything goes at Quinnipiac on Sunday.
Great. And Eureka?
Well, I've actually had the luxury of staying home now. So hopefully when the church opens up, I would love to play on Saturday masses continually.
Great. Brandon?
I'm staying home too, so I'm not going anywhere. So I'll still be at St. Pius every week. So that's definitely going to be the biggest thing. Yes, thank you.
Great.
And although Post is not necessarily a Catholic college, there are still community service aspects and different clubs and organizations. So I'm definitely going to get involved in that besides.
Good. And Ashley?
Well, I'll be back home now, so maybe I'll see you guys on Sundays, hopefully, once this is all over. And really just day by day, I went to a Catholic school, and really like the values of like the Catholic values and the Italian values were really just instilled into, my everyday life. So just like taking that forward with every situation.
Right. Sure.
Actually, you were saying that in the college, you used to have the Sunday evening mass. A lot of kids came, and you really enjoyed that, am I right?
What happened? You cut out. I'm sorry. You said on what Sunday?
Actually, you in your college used to have the mass on Sunday, right? The evening around 7:30, 8 o'clock. A lot of kids, you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, I actually, me and my roommates, we had a tradition where we would go every Sunday, and then we would have like, our dining hall was Locks. We would have a Locks like ice cream night after, and we would have Sundays, and get to make ice cream after going to mass. And mass was always very crowded, so it was really nice.
Yes.
Great. Claire, back to you.
Yes, okay. This question is for everyone. Maybe you can give us an idea of what life was like for you for these last couple of months with this quarantine. So Brandon, you want to start?
Sure. Life was surprisingly very hectic. There's nowhere to go, but I was stuck in this chair for about 8 to 9 hours a day, staring at my computer screen doing work. We were given more work than we ever have, actually. More work on here than in person. So that definitely filled my time. A lot of papers and things to that matter. But now we can look forward. We're done. We finished last Friday, or the seniors at least. So we could, everything worked out in the end, and now we could just look forward to the fact that we don't have to do it anymore. And all the colleges right now, the news and emails that I'm getting, they're committed to opening in person in the fall. Fingers crossed. So hopefully it will stay that way, and things will sort of get back to normal soon.
Oh, absolutely. Because you don't want to miss out on that. Being on campus, there's nothing like it, as opposed to just doing this stuff online.
Right.
Also, how were you able to connect with friends, family during this time? Did you find time to do that? Because you sound like you were certainly very busy with schoolwork.
There was time. A lot of my classmates and I would be on social media, whether it's just regular activities or academic activities. So we've had some group projects too. So video chats like this were kind of common. So that was a way to keep up with friends. For family, my grandparents have been quite nervous seeing us, in the beginning, because my dad has been going to the store and everything. So they really didn't want to come in close contact. So for the first few weeks, we'd talk through the window at their house. So that little impractical, but it got the job done. And now the weather's getting nicer. We'll sit outside for a few hours. And now that I'm off from school, I'll go over, once or twice a week, and we'll spend time together, which is nice, especially now to pass the time.
But Brandon, you're very proactive. You made a couple of videos, the musical videos, some of your friends, and you created. And then when I gave you the Holy Thursday, the morning prayer, you came out so beautiful with your parents, and it was wonderful. And I think you took the advantage of this pandemic time, being the family. But I don't think you wasted any time. You were just creative.
All right. Well, thank you. I mean, this has kind of opened new opportunities for me and allowed me to realize skills that I didn't necessarily know that I had, or things that I wouldn't have done under normal circumstances, such as recording and editing these videos and conducting interviews, and giving these reflections online. That's something that I never thought, but like I said in the video, some good has to come out of it. So I think this is the good that is coming out of it for me.
Great.
Okay, Ashley and Ryan, how about you guys? What was it like for the last 2 months?
Well, we've been getting to spend a lot of time together, which, hasn't really happened since I've lived here in 4 years. But no, we've actually gotten to spend a lot of time with our family. I mean, I know I've been on Zoom a ton, trying to keep up with my friends. Not really having those lats at college was really difficult. We've been FaceTiming, our family also. I know Ryan and I were actually at our grandpa's house a couple times this week doing some yard work for him. So trying to interact at, social distancing. 6 feet apart, but just trying to help out our family how we can, so that they don't have to do things, and that they, have company also.
Sure. No, I think that's one good thing that's coming out of this is people are really getting a chance to spend time with their family. Because
Yeah,
everybody's always on the run all the time.
it's invaluable. I mean, like I said, I've been away at school for 4 years, so I really didn't get to spend that much time with my family. I'd come home for vacation and stuff, but it's been really, really nice. Home cooked meals are 10 out of 10. And, just family game night and movie nights, baking.
That's nice. Ryan, you want to add something?
So I'm not done with school. I still have another 3 weeks. So I've been doing some schoolwork. Not that much. We really haven't been assigned a lot of work, maybe an hour a day. But besides that, I've been playing Xbox a lot with my friends. We're playing together for a couple hours, which is fun, socializing. We go to the park. We go to the school sometimes, park like 10 feet apart from each other, sit in our trunks and just talk. So something to do, to be able to talk to my friends. It's better than doing nothing. So
Right. That's right. Okay, Rica, just you're the last one. What was life like for you?
Yeah, so kind of like everyone else, I think Zoom became the focal point of my life with back-to-back meetings. But yeah, I picked up a green thumb with my dad. I finally got a chance to help him with his infamous compost. So that was very nice. And spending a lot of time with my family, especially my sister, and just working on projects that I never got the chance to do.
That's great.
Your dad always tells me, "Oh, so I'm very proud of my two girls and wonderful and being together." And really, it was given a great pleasure you being at home. He got a lot of opportunity to spend time with you guys as a grown-up girls. It was wonderful for him. And at the times, he came in tears. So he was very proud of you guys. And I'm sure that mom, the same thing. Did you learn any Indian cooking from your mom?
So Nikki has kind of taken over the kitchen, and I've
Yeah.
done more of the back work, like sweets and smoothies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually learned like 2 curries from her, so that was good. Finally, it was about time.
I know your father said you wanted to come and learn a few things.
Yes, that too. We got into cooking all of a sudden because, I mean, we didn't order out that much in the beginning because it still wasn't safe, and we just had so much time on our hands. So,
It's great.
but I'll still take you up on that offer.
You've got it.
Okay. Sal, do you have any other?
Yeah, I just have one thing. Life has changed for all of us. And I was wondering if you've all learned anything new in your current way of life with this new normal, or have you found anything? Life has changed. So what did you take away from these changes? And so I'm going to ask Ashley.
Honestly, I actually was just talking about this with my parents the other day. I would say, like, don't take anything for granted, just because I think this is like our new normal. And little things that I really did take for granted before, like even just like working out with my friends or going on a walk or going to the deli to go get a sandwich or something or lunch, or even just like hugging your grandma or grandpa, like things that you can't do anymore,
Right.
for the time being. So just really living in the moment and enjoying every second and literally taking nothing for granted.
Excellent. And Ryan, since you're right there.
yeah, I would have to say the same. Like even thinking back on to high school, like my last day of high school, I remember we were like one of the first schools to get canceled. We got the call saying it was canceled. And we were all so excited. We got to play golf for the next 4 days, not thinking about 4 days ago that it would be our last day in high school altogether. So it's just sad, and you'll never always take something for granted. Don't never take something for granted. So
Exactly.
just live life as you can. And
That's great. Rica.
Yeah, I think it really put life into perspective and really brought out a sense of gratefulness for me and just made me so aware of my circumstances. Because like today, I just said I was able to drive to Babylon and get a donut for myself. And then I hear about my cousins in India who are on a nationwide lockdown. And just, I think different parts of the world are experiencing this so differently that you just got to be grateful for being safe and that you're in a good household with good company.
That's great. And Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly agree with everything else everybody said. Another thing that I was even talking about this, and I was writing my speech recently, and not only should we not take things for granted, but we need to take advantage of everything that is offered to us and all the opportunities that are given to us. You know, in regular life, sometimes you can have a great opportunity, but you say, "Oh, I'm busy," or "Oh, I have something else to do." So we have to almost treat every moment that we have like it's our last. Treat it in the best way possible. So that's obviously very important. Faith has obviously, I think faith has played a large role in all of our lives, a dependence upon faith, a dependence upon prayer, that, you know, certainly supports all of us. And, you know, besides these things on a, you know, maybe like a medical level or a health or hygiene level, I think it's important to think everything through that you do. I mean, before this, you'd never realize the things that you're doing with the health benefits or disadvantages of everything. So now you really have to sit down and think about everything you do and strategically plan out how you're going to go to the store, when are you going to wear the mask. And I was nervous going to the church yesterday. When am I going to do the hand sanitizer before receiving communion and stuff like that? So I think it's a greater importance has been placed on, you know, our lives and on our health and safety.
True. Very good. Thank you.
Well, my last
Back to
question.
you.
My last questions will be for especially for the Ashley and Rica. You're all three of you coming from the beautiful families, good families, very Christ-centered, very faith-oriented families you are, and you take your faith very seriously. So when you guys left for the college, how did you handle your faith? What did you miss from St. Pius? Over the years, we have been trying to mold you to be a better people, better Christian, good people. How that those values, the Christian values, the gospel values, church values, has really helped you at this time?
Sure. So kind of ironically, even though I spent so much time in the church when I was in high school, I feel like in college I actually got closer to my faith, maybe just because I was maturing and growing up. But also in New Paltz and Fordham, I went to Mass every Sunday, and that was just a really great time for me just to connect with God one-on-one, because not a lot of my friends were used to going to Mass, like they were in Our Lady of Mercy. So I actually think my faith was strengthened, if anything, because I was alone and I would just turn to God.
Good to hear that.
I really agree with what Rica just said. I think, you know, like you said, you found peace, like knowing that you could like be with God, like one-on-one. Like there were a lot of stressful situations. And, you know, of course, like everyone probably stresses out, and I did too. But sometimes just sitting in the church and like just being in the presence of God, like you said, like one-on-one or with a couple of your friends, like it was like nothing was better than that. And there were some difficult decisions and difficult situations that I was put in. But I really think like my foundation, both like from my family and from like my family at St. Pius also, I think I was, you know, shaped, and my foundation just really kind of helped me to lead me in the right direction.
So what you guys will advise, like those children going to the colleges, like Brandon is going, Ryan is going, your brother is going to college. What advice you will give them?
Take advantage of everything. You know, live in the moment. Don't say no to anything. You know, any club. You know, if you're tired and you want to take a nap and sleep in late because you don't feel like going to a seminar or a panel, don't do it. Get up. You know, I think just taking advantage of everything and going to everything you can, and networking, making memories, having fun, and focusing on your schoolwork and your grades, and always sticking to your priorities and staying true to who you are.
Definitely. Yeah. Just keep an open mind and an open heart.
But I'm sure you guys in the colleges, you had some experiences. You know, there are some people, they could bad influence you regarding your faith, or some of the things will go against your family values, a Christian value, the gospel values. How did you handle that?
Like, are you saying like when if my friends were going like against it, and how did I?
Well, yes. How you handle it, being a very faith-centered people.
Honestly, I think, you know, I was fortunate to have, you know, great friends whose values were kind of in line with mine. But I think when you come face to face with people who don't believe in what you do, you know, you have to respect their decision. You can't, you know, yell at them for believing what they believe. But just staying true to who you are, and if they're true friends, then they'll understand and they'll respect that. And if not, then, you know, you kind of just have to stay true to who you are. You can't change for someone else.
Right. Rica?
Yeah, definitely be open. I mean, not everyone's going to agree with you and your values, but you have to stay respectful. That's the biggest thing in college because you're going to come across such a diverse group. So just be true to yourself and let them be true to themselves.
That's wonderful. Any other questions, Sal and Claire?
No, I could say that that's going to go in the workplace too when Ashley and Rica get there. And also, I mean, the opportunities that lie ahead. One thing I've learned in the last 40 some odd years of working was always take the opportunity. And if you think you can't do it, you can. Just take the opportunity and you'll make it work. And it always comes out to be the best thing you ever did.
Right. Okay. So this is where our interview ends. I want to thank all of you for coming out and opening up your heart and mind, without any doubts. Just you've been so frank. So I really want to thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask Brandon to give us a special blessing to all these graduates. They graduate from the colleges. They're going to the new world, in a different world, different experiences. So why don't you lead us into that prayer of the benediction?
Sure. Gracious and loving God, we ask now for your almighty hand to be upon our graduates as they and their families celebrate this grand milestone. May they find comfort from our St. Pius X parish family's continued embrace and support as they journey through life. May they find strength in the excellence of their academic preparation. Bless their lives from this day on with goodness and success. Enable them to stay true to their dreams for your greater glory, to discern what is right, good, and just, and to use their gifts wisely and in service to others. Empower them to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love, guided by your light, so that they may use their talents to, in the words of St. Ignatius Loyola, go forth and set the world on fire, and the mission statement of the St. Pius X parish family, love God, love others, make disciples, and strive to restore all things in Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Grace be to them, and grace be to us all.
May the blessings of good God be upon you all, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So enjoy your party, Rica, and enjoy your memorial day, and keep up all the good things you are doing. And remember, you have St. Pius X Parish family always there to help you, support you when you need it. I'll be always there for you guys. All right?
Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
I'm going to take care.
Good luck, everyone.
Good
Thanks.
luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy.